Hello everybody, my name's Brian, and welcome to the MTG store. So recently I had heard a rumor that MTG was starting to put the commander decks back on the store, and lo and behold, there are the two commander decks. I am interested in the Urza deck, but while I might do that off camera, because I haven't found a way to make commander interesting when it's just me and I don't know the other three guys, I also noticed that the Pioneer Challenger decks were for sale on MTG. This is particularly interesting to me. So if you guys saw last week's video where I played Explorer, I kind of explained I don't really do Pioneer. I don't have the brain space for it. I kind of have been focusing on Modern. I play a little bit of Legacy. Now, back in the day, I played Pioneer, and I played like a Rakdos kind of version of it. And, you know, I did okay. But the Pioneer meta changed so much. There were so many bans. It kind of fell out of something I would do regularly. But hey, look at this. There are now 3 decks here that are in theory good to go. Now, super quick story time. I got into Standard back in the day. The only time I got into Standard as an adult because of the Challengers decks. The red Hazoret deck that came with a Chandra as well as a Hazoret, which led me to being pretty okay at Standard. And you know what? I enjoyed it. And I did the math. I made sure buying these decks is actually cheaper doing it directly from MTG, and it is. And also, while I do have a decent amount of the cards for the deck I'm about to purchase, I still think it'll be better to buy it this way because, again, it's cheaper even taking the cards out that I already own. So, which one of these decks am I interested in? Well, I've done enough meandering around. It's the Gruul Stompy deck. Now, why the Gruul Stompy deck? I love Glorybringer. I know Glorybringer's actually correct to take out of this deck, but here's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to buy this deck, and we are going to try it as is in Pioneer, and if I can get some wins with it. If I can, great. If I can't, we might tune it as we go along. But again, I know nothing about Pioneer. Nothing. I played it when it first came out, and the banned list looked incredibly different. So, real quick, let me buy this, and let's look at what we're getting. All right, it's been added to our collection. Hooray. Oh, I have to go to other products. Yep, there it is, and all of its glory. Open. That's one way to show me. All right, Gruul Stompy. Okay. So it even just comes with its own versions of everything. So what are we looking at here? Because while I did look this up real quick to make sure it wouldn't be cheaper for me just to buy the parts, let's see what's going on here. So this appears to be just what it says on the tin. Gruul Stompy, but it's mostly, let's get down a Llanowar Elf. And then we have some removal and a Braid. We have some Bone Crusher Giants. These are actually the reason why it was cheaper just to buy it directly from MTG rather than get it piecemeal by like Card Hoarder or MTG Traders. These guys are expensive still. Lovestruck Beast, he's like 2 cents. Questing Beast, he's fun. Chandra Torch of Giants, Questing Beast, and Glorybringer are the reasons why we can't use Jingatha. So if you look at like the meta version of this deck, people are using Jingatha. But hey, we have 8 dorks, which if you don't know, first of all, how did you find my video? Welcome to Magic. And second, these just tap for a green mana. There's 8 of them, which seems to be trying to hyper out our 4 and 5 drops. We also have Mizzium Mortars, which deals 4 damage to something or 4 damage to everything if the game goes that long. Some Scavenging Oozes, they're just good. You know, take out the graveyard. Everybody needs graveyard hate. You've heard me say this. Lovestruck Beasts, which can just be a big old blocker. They can also crew Azika's Chariot, which is a part of the deck this didn't come with. Chandra Torch of Defiance. Love Chandra Torch of Defiance. Questing Beast. This is a card where every time you look at it, there's more text on it. So Vigilance, Death Touch, Haste. Questing Beast can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Combat damage that would be dealt by creatures you control can't be prevented. And whenever this deals combat damage to an opponent, eat one of their planeswalkers, essentially. So, does everything. You know, even makes julienne fries. 4 Glorybringers, love them. Don't care that I have 8 on Mitgo now. They're worth nothing, but they're just fun to have. Alright, what's the sideboard look like? This is the part I really don't know. Flameblast Bolt. Exile and deal 2 damage to creature planeswalker. So I can't shock an opponent, but I can poke him with that thing and exile it. I guess it takes out Phoenixes, which is another deck I could have gotten, but I decided to go this way instead because Glorybringer's awesome. Rending Volley, 4 damage to target white or blue creature. I guess there's control decks floating around. Another Braid to clear it out. Here's your anti-control. More, at least it seems like a lot of this is anti-control. So Shifting Terratops can't be countered. Pro blue gains haste essentially, and Cinder Finds deals 1 damage. Yeah, and this entire sideboard seems anti-control, but then again, I know nothing about Pioneer. Last thing, let's take a look at the lands here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 forests, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mountains. 4 pain lands, so those are fine. 4 Rockfall Glaives, so those are slow lands, which is weird in a deck that has such a low curve, but I guess you just try and get whatever duels you can. A Lone Stomping Ground, so if we upgrade the deck, I have a full set of Stomping Grounds, so I can just do that. Also, I feel like the pathways are probably good here, probably a lot better than like Rockfall Glaive, because when are you going to have your 3rd land drop be that important? But again, I could be talking out of my butt. I have no idea because I haven't played Pioneer in quite some time. So, hey, let's go ahead and hop into a game and see if I can win anything. Just kind of going into Pioneer blind. All right, and we even won the die roll on our first Pioneer game. Let's go. Open up with a 1-lander, and it's that tap land I don't like. Oh, man, I hate it when I'm right. We're going to mull this. Hopefully we can find something better. This looks better. So, what do we give up on? Maybe one of the Carplusian forests. I don't need to deal myself that much damage, and I don't believe there's any double green in this deck. It's all double. No, the Questing Beast is double green. But we're going to have Llanowar Elves. Let's go Llanowar Elf and scoot the turn. It's real interesting to see what versions of the cards it put in this deck. Like Dominaria Llanowar Elves and Eldraine Questing Beasts and, Dominaria United Mountains. I'd be interested to see if it's, the same as in paper. Oh, okay, well, that's fun. Scavenging Ooze. Well, we have a million anti-control things in our sideboard, but for right now, let's try and cast Lovestruck Beast and just stomp quickly. All right, I don't actually know what the removal is in this format. What does white and blue have at their disposal? Otherworldly Gaze, okay. I know that from Modern Dredge, but I don't know what you're doing with it. Another reason I wanted to go into this blind rather than what I should do, which is watch a couple Pioneer videos, take a peek at what's in the meta on Pioneer, is because this is kind of recreating what would happen if you just walked into a Magic shop, bought a Pioneer Challenger deck, and then sat down to a Pioneer tournament. Like, yeah, your opponent is going to be a little bit more ready to go than you are. Pioneer doesn't have regular counterspell, do they? I feel like there's something that's going to happen. Ooh, another Glorybringer. So we just attack with Questing Beast if we get to attack with Questing Beast. And then we play out the Scavenging Ooze. Brunchdom. What does Temporary Lockdown do? Value 2 or less. So here's the thing. I feel like I really want to get down. There's no way they're doing. I don't know. I'm going to go slow, even though it feels bad. And I'm just going to play out Scavenging Ooze, see if it dies. And I'm just going to pass, even though we're not going to play the Elfish Mystic, because whatever they try and do with that Otherworldly Gaze, because they can just do it in response to me targeting it with Scavenging Ooze, I want to try and eat whatever they're doing with their graveyard. I have a sneaking suspicion that whatever this is, it has to do with their graveyard. Okay, cool. Tails End Reject. Let's just straight up control. I have to imagine there's a Wrath incoming here. There's the Temporary Lockdown, which eats... might as well eat their... what do I eat? I'm gonna eat their Lockdown, maybe? Like, it doesn't do anything, but it gets it into exile, and I'm hoping that that's helpful. This is probably why Boseju's in the real version of this deck, but there's no way I'm buying Boseju's for this. They are hilariously expensive online. And a Braid. Well, the good news is we get to play the Elfish Mystic, and we get to keep hitting with Lovestruck Beast. The bad news is our hand is full of 5-drops, and they have more cards in their hand than us, and they're playing a control deck. So there's that. Even if we draw a land next turn, we still have to do that again after that to get the Glorybringers down. I mean, we're getting to the point where, the Mizia Mortars overloading would be good, but we haven't drawn enough lands to really take advantage of it. Okay, we have a Bone Crusher Giant. So I'm pretty sure this is about to get settled or, bamfed off the field one way or another. Goes to 3. I suppose we should have attacked with the Elfish Mystic, and then we could have killed them if they ever tapped down with Bone Crusher Giant. They're cycling. Okay, well, I feel like this is the time to try and hit them. Chomp, put them to 1. Okay, so they're at 1. So a Brisk Fart will kill them. Wiccan, so they're just cycling that because they don't have any more mana. The problem now is if they Wrath, and that's where I see them going with this. Wiccan, okay, sure. It's probably just cycling. So either they Wrath or another Temporary Lockdown. Ooh. So if we find a 1-drop, we can kill him. Or another Bone Crusher Giant. Or that. That will also do the job. Make me a 1/1. Turns out Eldraine cards still good. All right. I like it. And we have so much anti-control. Oh, man. What do we not bring in? Well, first of all, the Abrades are not great. What else is not ideal? I don't know. I feel like these Glory Bringers might be asking a lot. What if we do this? I mean, honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing, so we might as well try it. These stupid Rock Veils are very bad. And we're like trying to aggro. Let's mull. Okay, I like this. We could probably put back Mizium Mortars. In fact, Mizium Mortars probably shouldn't be in the deck, but oopsie. Right, Forest into Llanowar. And let's hope that's a lot more threatening than it looks from our side. Oh boy. It's okay, so they have Counterspell mana up, which is fine. Another Llanowar Elf. Well, we have plenty of those. So many Llanowar Elves. Yeah, let's run another elf. What do you do? All right. And I'm just gonna play this out. And then even if they don't temporary lockdown us, like, we're gonna not play out the other ones we have in our hand, because they've kind of proven that they clearly play 4 temporary lockdowns main. So who knows what else came in after we got them with that first one. Impulse. Yes. Always surprised that Impulse wasn't in Modern until now. But there were like less good versions like Supreme Will that was also a counter spell, but it was 1 mana more. All right, well, they can't temporary lockdown with that mana, but they can Anger or something. Detention Sphere. Okay, well, that takes out 2 of my Llanowar Elves, which is what I assume they're going after, yeah. Okay. Well, I still have a Scavenging Ooze, and I have more Llanowar Elves in my hand. Stomping Ground. Well, a little too late, I suppose. First things first, let's just go screaming in with Scavenging Ooze. I feel like we're not going to be fast enough this game. Our opponent's getting to the point where they're going to be allowed to do whatever they want. All right, let's hope you don't have another Crackdown, because I'm just going to go fast break things. All right, wrath me out of the game, opponent. And then, unfortunately, I have no idea how you win, so I have to sit here and wait to see how that happens. All right, seems as though they missed a land drop, which is pretty neat. We, on the other hand, have no such qualms. I mean, if he doesn't start killing stuff, which I doubt, we will just be doing 5 per turn, which is nice. I feel like they have a hand with, you know, Confiscation or Temporary Lockdown. Gaze is fine. I have no counter spells, but hopefully you put creatures in there for me to eat. Just reshuffles the top of their deck. That's not good. They must have found the land. Yeah, okay, so now everything's gonna go away. 9 lives. I will just eat their otherworldly while they're doing this. So the thing is, I have to hit them 9 separate times, which does actually slow me down a little. Ooh, and I am just drawing lands. All right, well, so they essentially go to 6 now, and nothing else we can do. They got 2 more turns, but I have to imagine they'll draw out at some point, especially if they're running things like Quicken and stuff. We'll eat their Impulse just in case they have anything that might want to try and do something with it. Keep the graveyard clear. That's fascinating. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like we actually have to keep that open. Place Shifting Ceratops. I mean, we're running into a settle, but we kinda need to go fast here. Plus, I mean, if we start pulling lands out of our deck, hopefully we start finding our haste threats, because we do have them. They go to 7. All right, we'll leave the mountain in our hand. Doesn't do anything anyway. Quicken, all right, so is there a Wrath now? No, it's just cycling. They have Verdict mana, though. Fascinating. Man, we draw nothing. So we only have to hit them with 2 things, so we can actually leave back one of our creatures. Because we can always give Shifting Ceratops Trample. Oh no, did they just lose? Oh no, they have the thing that counters... They have the thing that counters that ability. That's how they're gonna do it. They have the ending thing that counters the trigger's ability. Now I see what they're doing. Ha! That's great. Or they Harmless Offering. Actually, wait, did they do that too late? Oh, it still works that way. Okay, that's fascinating. Okay, that's interesting. Well, Mizium Mortars doesn't do anything. What does is the question. I guess the Glory Bringers are just faster. They can actually do damage, but I don't actually have anything that takes out an enchantment, do I? Man, for a green... Actually, no, I have Cindervines, but it's hexproof. Huh, interesting. Well, we get to go first, though. Neato. Let's try it. So turn 1, Elfish Mystic. Turn 2, Elfish Mystic. Turn 3, Chandra. Unless we draw a land, and we can just start Glory Bringing. They can either, like, counter that ability, or they can just Harmless Offering at instant speed. That's fascinating. Our opponent, I guess debating their opening hand. Oh, they mulled to 4. That's what they did. Okay. So Forest into Mystic into your turn, opponent. All right, now would be a good time to draw the Lovestruck Beast. Thank you, Magic. Thank you very much. I will do that. Now we really want to draw lands to kind of keep going, but clearly you beat this deck just by going fast, because he needs 4 mana to quicken donate. Another Lovestruck Beast. Okay, well, new plan. Rar. I mean, if he has something to take out the Elfish Mystic, he has something to take out the Elfish Mystic. If he has Containment Sphere, he has Containment Sphere. Or he just rejects it. Okay. We still chunked him down to 13, though, so that's good. So now they can already play the 9 lives. They don't, though. Llanowar Elves. Okay, well. Guess we finally have to start casting spells again. But swing in with Lovestruck Beast. I'm imagining something happens here. Just due to the fact that they took damage off of Sacred Foundry. Or not. Okay, well, Llanowar Elf and Elfish Mystic. All right, well, now any of their wraths really blow us out, but them's the breaks. Otherworldly Gaze, that's fine. I think I just got to double Otherworldly, because they need to have the 9 lives, like, this next turn. Otherwise, we kind of have lethal. They binned an Otherworldly and a Harmless Offering, kept 1 thing. So they probably have the 9 lives in. Otherwise, I'd imagine they would have binned all 3. Temporary Lockdown. That's fine by me. By fine by me, I mean we kind of got dismantled. Dear God, we need to draw a 1/1. You know, you don't always get what you want. Sometimes you get what you need. All right. This doesn't kill them, obviously, but putting them to 1 does stop, like, their shock lands from coming into play untapped. Boy, is my deck really good at drawing lands or not drawing lands at the most inopportune. Oh, we won a match. Hey, look at that. First Pioneer game. We took it down. Fascinating. All right, we won another die roll. Looks like if you come to the land of Pioneer, you get to win die rolls. This seems good. Hopefully our opponent is playing a creature-based deck. That would be optimal. All right. Nothing to it. Here's my Llanowar Elf. For the longest time, people used to joke that Final Horn Elves were better than Llanowar Elves because they have knives. But now the new Llanowar Elves have knives. Mystic Sanctuary is still legal? Where am I right now? All right. Okie dokie. So let's just play out Scavenging Ooze and bang them for 1. I mean, next turn, if our Llanowar doesn't die, which who knows what our opponent's doing here, we get to Questing Beast, which just seems like a great card. And I'm pretty sure Questing Beast reads deal 4 damage to your opponent each turn. There's the basic island, surprising no one. All right. Now, I feel a counterspell coming on, but, you know, we kind of only have one plan here. No. Ooh. Is this Merfolk and they're just going to Trickster and kill my Scavenging Ooze? No, they go to 13. Fascinating. Plays another island. Psy Master Thopterist. So it's a Storm deck? Yep, this looks like a Storm deck. All right, well, they're going to make a million things. Luckily, Questing Beast can't be blocked by these little jumpers, but I have to assume he's going to make a million dudes right now. Oh, it's my turn again. I feel like I do Mizia Mortar the Psy, even though, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next turn, I could Mizia everything, but I feel like killing Psy is just better. All right. We'll just swing with these guys. If they want to spend their whole, like, field killing Scavenging Ooze, that's fine by me. Eat that, gain a life, kill one of the things, deal them 4. I don't see any wraths coming on, so here's another Llanowar Elf. So now, as long as we don't draw lands, which seems to be one of the problems of this deck, it doesn't have a lot of card selection. Maybe it wants, like, a Reckless Impulse or, like, a Light Up the Stage or something to try and help with that. Oh, they had another Psy. Well, poopy. And they had more Briber's Purses. Well, they can stop the Questing Beast from attacking, but that's about it. A Braid. Fascinating. So I say we attack with everything. Yep, that's fine. And if they try and kill the Scavenging Ooze, we have a Braid. I have enough mana where I feel like attacking with the Llanowar Elves is correct. No, they just, trade chump. Works for me. Because now we can, Scavenging Ooze our own 2 Llanowar and make Skoos nice and big. We'll also keep a Braid up in case there's an artifact that seems like it needs to die, or if Psy is just gonna, you know, eat another 3. Paradoxical Outcome. Well then. Figure this is as good as time as any to destroy, I suppose, one of the Briber's Purses. Because the Mox Amber, like, is legendary, and if he draws one, then, you know, it's just as useful as having one. So they should be able to make a decent number of tokens, because they picked up at least 3 free things. And they drew 3 cards, so seems decent. Paradoxical Outcome, that's real cool to see. Pioneer's just cool to see what it does. Modern is so homogenous now, thanks to Modern Horizons, that this is just interesting. You know, don't get me wrong, I'm playing, you know, Derpy McStompy over here, but our opponents have been doing cool things. All right, cool. I would have played the Mox Amber first, because then you could have put a thing on Briber's Purse, but I suppose he has a second Briber's Purse. Because he does actually want to, like, stop questing beasts from coming in, is a thing. Yeah. If we can find another way to kill Psy, too. The Mizium Mortars is good on that front. All right, so we'll eat our own stuff, pumping our dude. Speaking of Mizium Mortars, we are now far away from that being a thing, so we'll just kill the Psy, and if they have another one, then I suppose they need Psy for their deck to work, but them getting that many of them just seems unlucky. Yep, that's fine by me. The Psy goes down, and we, like, immediately eat it to make sure they don't get it back somehow. Great. If they have another Paradoxical Outcome, though, they have another Paradoxical Outcome, and there's not much I can do with it. But they have some chumpers here. All right, do you have the third Psy? Moonsnare Prototype. So, just being mana? Sure. Oh, they're whirring, it looks like. Oh, just Inspiring Sanctuary, sure. So what? This still feels like Whir of Invention? I suppose this could also still be Paradoxical Outcome. No? Okay, do they leave stuff up on blocking duty? They do. All right, while we're here, no graveyard for you, just in case. Love Struck Beast. Well, that's something we can do after combat. Rawr. Realize you have blockers, but what are you gonna do? Oh, you're gonna do something. Put target second from the top. Sure. I don't want you to have that. I don't want you to have that at all. All right, so you block with your Thopter. We still get to cast Lovestruck Beast and Heart's Desire, so you know we're still grinding them down. They only have 1 card in hand. Heart's Desire, and here is Mr. Lovestruck Beast. I always love how much the person in the background, it just has a what are you talking about face on it. Because like this human token definitely looks a lot more enamored by this thing than the actual thing. Oh, we win! Hey, our opponent heard me talking too much about Beauty and the Beast and decided to commit, you know, just concede rather than hear that end. So these are great. Not what I want here. I mean, that can kill Psy, and I guess the deck doesn't do anything without him. But like, what comes out is the question. 25 lands in this deck, you say, and I'm having a hard time drawing them. That's interesting. Shifting Ceratop's probably not where we want to be. Mizium Mortars just seems so good. Cindervines, yeah, it stops him from doing that. So maybe if we give up on the Chandras. The Questing Pieces are great. The Glory Bringers seem fine. Bonecrusher Giants only seem kind of meh. Lovestruck Beast seem good. Oozes seem great. Give up on 2 Bonecrusher Giants. We just bring in the Cindervines, and maybe we don't bring in the Abrade, which actually can't kill Psy. It can kill artifacts, but it can't kill Psy. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing here, so let's try that. Alrighty. Hey, it's that 1 land I don't like. In a 1 land hand, in a 25 land deck. Let's try that again. That looks a little bit more like it. I mean, we don't have anything, I guess get rid of the forest. We don't have anything that, takes care of what they do, but they need a couple of turns to get there. And by then, hopefully, we have Lovestruck Beasts going. We drew a Cindervines. Okay, well, that at least gives me something to do next turn. I got a little 1/1. And next turn, hopefully they don't see good old Lefty here with his 2 left hands. These also don't have some sort of counterspell. That would be great. So we'll come in with this, and hopefully they try and kill it somehow. Here, kill my human token. Spend your mana killing my human token, not countering my Cindervines. All right, well, they saw through our plan. Oh, we do get a Cindervines. Look at that. Okay, so now every time they make a little token, they take a damage, which is nice. Oh, and it taking some time to think about what's going on in their life on that side of the table. I mean, I could see why your opponent showed up with a challenger deck and seems to be doing somewhat well. I could see why Glorybringer's not in the main meta, though. Turn 5 is a long time. And considering I have 25 lands in this deck, because I have 0 card selection, that's brutal. I would love some card selection. Did our opponents, are they waiting for me in chat or something? I don't have chat open right now. No, chat's empty. Are they salting? They might be salting. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I think they're salting. It has been a good minute since they have done anything. So, I mean, thank God I edit these. I don't think he's coming back, guys. Sit rep. It's been at least 2-3 minutes now, so I think I got 2-3 minutes more before this ends. But, hey, I guess technically I go 2-0 into the next one. Joke's on you, opponent. My time's worthless. Hey, we win the match. So that's 2-0, and one person salted off when I played a stock challenger deck. Good so far. Winning die rolls again. Oh my god, is this where all my die roll wins have gone? In Modern, I win 0 die rolls, but really, I should have apparently been playing Pioneer this entire time. Another hand with a 1-drop and a 25 land deck. This seems a lot better. Keep. We can give up on Mortars, I suppose. And hope our opponent is just doing more combo. Like, we played against 2 combo decks so far. What are the chances our third opponent's doing it? All right. Oh, this is a tap land. How nice. Thank you, Watsy. At least there's volume on this video this time. All right, our opponent does nothing. Still our turn. Now, what do you do on your turn, opponent? Oh, is this a mirror? This is a mirror. Now, some of you might be asking, Brian, how do you know it's a mirror if the only thing that has happened is he played 1 land and 1 creature, and it's because the printings of both of them are identical. So he has the Dominaria United Land and the M15 Elf. We are playing the same 75 cards. So he probably plays a Lovestruck Beast now? Yeah, okay. I am a Mighty Wizard. What do we draw? Glorybringer. Well, I actually think we just play our own Lovestruck Beast in defense mode here. And then next turn, we can cast our Elfish Mystic. But we need to start drawing more lands. We're not attacking into a 5/5, thank you. Hasn't found the red half of his deck yet, though. So what? Questing Beast? God, I'm good at this game. All right, so he just comes screaming in. And, like, we block the Lovestruck Beast because we can take out the Questing Beast with Glorybringer. If we draw 1 more land, we just play Elfish Mystic, and then next turn we get to Glorybringer. Yeah, that was the only one I was going to block anyway. So we're still on even keel here. Please be a green land. It is a Lovestruck Beast. That is not what I wanted to see. All right, so we're going to take our beats next turn. Nothing we can do about it. And we really need to find land so that we can use our Glorybringer to start taking down their board. The last thing we want them to do, though, is find red land. Darn it! Okay, so Elfish Mystic, sure. What do you have that can really punish us now? I guess more Lovestruck Beasts would be bad. You only have 2 cards in hand, though. So, beats by Gabe here, sticking up to the name by trying to beat us with our own deck. Another Lovestruck Beast. I'm very good at calling it. Yeah, come screaming in with the Questing Beast. Nothing we can do about that. Are they just waiting until second main phase to play the Lovestruck Beast for reasons? No, they're not. They're just not playing it. Please be land. Please, please, please be land. Any land. Oh, please don't stomp my Mystic. That'd be rude. Yep, stomp. Ah, come on. Now I need land for a different reason. Ooh, Stomping Ground. Okay, great. Guess what? Chicken butt. So just immediately offer this trade. If they don't trade, that's very silly because I am going to block. Okay. Don't know why they did that. They're in such a better position to raise, but actually, I suppose I said why they didn't just take the 4. All right, so now they can just play out their 2 dudes, but I get to Glorybringer. Oh, no, I don't because my elf's dead. Boo. Okay. I mean, I guess I can make Scavenging Ooze really big. By that, I mean I can make it a 4/4. So I guess just playing the Lovestruck Beast is better, unless I draw a land. If I draw any land, then game on. Come on. Land. Show me. There's 25 in the deck. You know, opponent, putting a stop on our upkeep like that to ruin my comedic timing's just rude. Another Lovestruck Beast. You know, as far as things go, I suppose there's worst things in the world. I'm just going to go screaming in with the Lovestruck Beast and see if we can nip one of their things. I would block with the Bone Crusher Giant. Yeah, there we go. If I find land, though, boy howdy. Glorybringer, how are you? How are you this hard to play? What? This is game 1, right? Our opponent put their Shifting Ceratops in the main? I mean, it's a good card, don't get me wrong. I guess just nail me for 10. Yeah, I'm just gonna take 10. Please be land. Please be land. Please, please, please. Another Glorybringer. Are you kidding me? What we do is we just play out the Lovestruck Beast, and we yield through the turn. We have been so land screwed in a 25 land deck, it's not even funny. I really hope they didn't draw anything of note. Or they drew their own Glorybringer and they get to be sad about it now. They attack with 2 things. I have to chump 1. Yeah. And the answer is to chump the Ceratops because I can still die to Glorybringer if I find land. Or damage I can gain 1 life too. That doesn't really do me a ton. Surprised they didn't attack with everything though. Cool story, opponent. And they didn't give their Shifting Ceratops haste or trample for some reason. Okay. Please be land or this is all for nothing. Okay. Well, the problem is they have 1/1s. That's a really weird problem to have, but it sure is. So attack and exert. kill that thing. Now, the problem is they attack us for 3, and then even next turn when I Glorybringer again, they're going to get us. I think we've just been too slow, because they should really just swing with all their creatures, put me to 2, cast Bone Crusher Giant, unless they have a Shifting Ceratops. They have a... Oh, they just get it. Okay, cool. Neat. Next one. All right, mirror match time. What do I want in the mirror match? Braid's not actually all that great. Shifting Ceratops. Oh, they scooped the match? But they won game 1. Pioneer's weird. Guys, I'm 4 games in, and I am 4 for 4 on die rolls. This is great. Technically 3-0 after one dude salted off for reasons that I'll never quite understand. This seems fine. It's got a 1-2 and 3 drop, so let's do the 1 drop. Alrighty. See what our opponent's up to. Anakar Wastes. Awful Savior. Little target creature gets indestructible. I'm gonna just kill that. I'm gonna just stomp that thing dead. Now, he should sacrifice it because that stops the giant from coming back later. But the reason why I was willing to give up essentially an entire creature for it is because whatever he's making indestructible, I want to go away. I don't know if this is like a spirits deck or soldier's deck. I mean, that's just a dog, so don't know what's going on here. Oh no, they just let it happen, so now it's in my adventure zone. Okay, well, I'll take the suboptimal play from the opponent. And a Confluence. Oh, so they could be playing a million things. Light Pause. Oh, now we know what they were trying to make unkillable. What does this thing even do? Whenever in the battlefield, if you catch your library for an aura card with mana, that's you do an aura card different nature. Or not entirely sure how that works. Did they reveal something? Oh, just Jingatha. Okay, so I have to try and kill that thing, I think. And we're just gonna play a 5/5, I figure. Can't attack with my 1/1, so we'll just move on here. I mean, it feels like they might be able to do weird things with Light Pause. Like, I'm reading this and I'm not absorbing what it does. Oh, it's when an aura, not when it enters the battlefield. So if it casts like a 3-drop, then you can find a 2 or 1 drop. Oh, no, you can find an equal or 1 less to attach to Light Pause. So, like, there's no Armadillo Cloak or Unflinching Courage in Pioneer, I don't think. So, like, what's the other worse news I can put? I guess I could just put a lot of, like, the little Theros ones on it. Oh, okay. My bad. I guess there technically is a Unflinching Courage in Pioneer, and its name is Staggering Insight. Please don't give it flying. Please don't give it flying. Ethereal Armor. Oh, double Ethereal Armor. Boogity. How do I get rid of that thing? 12. Oh, and it flies now? Oh, man. Off to the races. I mean, well, yeah, we'll take the hit. See what we draw, but I'm pretty sure this game's over. Yeah, no, we're done. Boogity. These are instants, right? So Rending Volleys, yes. Be fast. Rending Volleys, yes. Even Flame Blessed Bolts seem good. Braids seem medium because they're doing enchantments, not artifacts. Cindervine seems only okay. Flame Blessed Bolt. What would I want to take out for Flame Blessed Bolt? I guess Mizzium Mortars because they're sorcery and they kind of do it all in one turn. So bring in Flame Blessed Bolts and bring in Rending Volleys. I think that's about it. Just make our removal faster. And I think that's kind of what we have to bank on. So let's try this. All right. You get to go first because we have lost a game for, first time all day. Had to happen sometime with our stock Pioneer deck. Oh, you stupid land. Mull. Better. Okay, cool. So keep, I guess I actually put the ooze back because we're just going to try and go. I mean, I realize we don't have any removal for their Light Paws, and I feel like they just start mulling until they have Light Paws. I feel like it's kind of like a Tron thing where you need to mull until you have it. Whereas, if they like turn 1 in that little doggy thing, we would need to have multiple removal pieces, which is why I'm just kind of going to the races here. Another Glorybringer. Well, that will be impressive if and only if we can find more lands. But this 25 land deck, not great at finding lands somehow. Great at finding Glorybringers. Oh my god, the amount of Glorybringers we've seen. Oh man, bring on more Glorybringers apparently. When in reality, I think you should probably cut some number of Glorybringers. I don't know if you should be running 4 Glorybringers. I think you should be running some other things, but clearly, like, this is just to get you into the game, and then you're like, oh, I should change this deck, as opposed to, oh, I just bought this deck, and now I don't do anything. SRAM. Neat. Please find removal. Questing Beast. I hate you too, deck. Just every fiber of my being. So our opponent is going to probably have like a crazy turn next turn. We put him down to 15, but don't worry, we're going to deal him 4 next turn with Questing Beast. So they like light pause, play an ethereal armor, also give it flying, and just start beating me in the face, and they get to draw a card every time they play something. And no, like we're not playing a small amount of removal. We have 4 giants, 4 rending volleys, and 3 rending volleys, and 4 flame blessed bolts. So it's a good amount of our deck is removal, but hey, if it's not going to be, it's not going to be. Now, don't get me wrong. If our opponent like just plays light pause and does nothing else, and we find a land, a red one specifically, then we'll Glorybringer and just blow stuff up, but not looking great. It's a very consistent deck, what we're playing, but it's consistent when it gets lands, and it's so weird that we're having so many land problems when there's 25 lands in the deck, and there's 8 mana dorks. Curious Obsession. Okay. I mean, can't block right now. So I guess you do get to hit us and draw another card. Probably just found that land. Staggering Insight. I don't. Now we draw 2. We have to hope we draw a land. I realize letting them draw 2 cards is super wrong, but like we really need to draw a land and to questing beast them off the face of the earth. Oh my god, deck. This deck doesn't like us at all. 3 Glorybringers, 2 lands. You would think I had 25 Glorybringers in the deck with the way I'm drawing them. So we took a risk and we got absolutely dumpstered for it. But then again, like the hand with 2 mana dorks and 2 lands, and we put like our Scavenging Ooze to the bottom, didn't seem like that big of a risk, but we just proceeded to rip our 5 drops off the top, which again doesn't seem like an unreasonable thing when you're running 25 lands. That's like more lands than control decks in Modern play. All that glitters, good. Now give it flying. Come on, you know you have it. Come on, Griff Spoon. Now that I have no chance of killing this thing, go ahead and Griff Spoon it. Yep. So now we have no way of killing this, and it's gotten so big because essentially it was just RNG, unfortunately. You know, it's hard for me to... Oh, good, more. It's hard for me to say it's deck construction when the deck's construction is overwhelmingly lands. And this deck doesn't have, like, destroy target creature. It's all damage-based stuff. Oh, my god. Draw more cards. And we're going to, like, draw a red source now because life's not fair on Crusher Giant. Or we're just going to die. Okay, well, you can't win them all. And in this case, we somehow got land screwed with the deck, which is disappointing. But hey, 3-1 going on to the final round. Somebody buy a lottery ticket. We went 5-0 on rolling dice, in the very least. So, yes, we'll go first again. This hand actually seems great. If we find a second red source, we can even, like, Chandra super quick, but in the meantime, we'll just start hypering out our little elves and Scavenging Oozes and stuff. Island into nothing. All right, sounds good to me. A mountain. Hooray. So we go Scavenging Ooze, we go Llanowar Elf, and the next turn, we're pretty set. So we have hypered out as fast as we can. Let's see what our opponent's up to. Opt. Oh, we're finally going up against control. Oh, it could be Phoenix. A Glorybringer. That's interesting. I actually think I do want a Chandra, but I'll attack with the Scavenging Ooze first, see if they do anything. I mean, I feel like whatever we're going to play gets countered anyway. Oh no, they're just going to do it now. Oh, they abrade my thing. Okay. Well, I'm happy this happens. No reason to make red mana, so we'll just deal them 2. So we have a Chandra on the field. Our opponent doesn't have much going on. All right. So first thing we get to do is Chandra Uptick, and I will cast that, thank you. Here comes Glorybringer. Write down Glorybringer lane. Although, you will notice, somehow we found, again, just so many Glorybringers. Just attack. And then next turn, another Opt. I feel like this is Phoenix. So next turn, then we uptick Chandra again. And then after that, we can downtick Chandra and just kill him by abrading our own creatures. Just be a Crackling Drake, that'd be kind of annoying. And again, I guess we can give up on the whole alting Chandra thing and just blow up whatever they put into our way. But if they just play a Phoenix and just knock Chandra with it, then, like, next turn, we just Glorybringer. Seems like they have some sort of surprise in hand that they don't want to do unnecessarily at this time. So let's play a mountain. Let's tick up Chandra, see what we find. Mizia Mortars. No, we'll just kill you 2. And look, I have another Glorybringer. Do you have a counterspell opponent? No. That's such a shame. And Glorybringer, when it works, it's such a fun card. And then again, our opponent hasn't played anything. When it goes to 3. I have noticed we do very good when our opponent does nothing. I know that is a shocking revelation, but it appears to be true. Yep, they just scoop. I'm still willing to bet that that is a Phoenix decks. So Flame Blessed Bolt seems good. The Braids only seem kind of meh. Because, like, I feel like we can be quicker than that. Cindervine's okay. That also seems kind of mid. Maybe just make our Braids quicker and also exile stuff. Also take out 2 Mizzium Orders and put in a Flame Blessed Bolt and maybe 1 Cindervines just to see how it goes. Try that. All right. This hand is actually quite good. Keepsies. So 1 into multiple 2s into 3 into 4. So let's see what they do. Sulfur Falls, all right. This is really feeling Phoenix-like. Forest into Llanowar Elves. And then I reckon next thing we do is Lovestruck Beast, just to start hitting face, like, hard. Oh, there's a Glorybringer. All right, pass through the turn. All right, now, if they go, like, multiple looting spells or otherworldly gazes, just get a whole bunch of Phoenixes in the bin, that's a thing. Okay, or they just continue to do very little. This. I'm gonna try this before I attack in case I have some sort of deal everything damage thing and I lose my Llanowar Elf. This looks like a counter. And negate, that's fine. That does mean we get to smash in with Lovestruck Beast, and next turn we play a Glorybringer. I mean, Lovestruck Beast is still a 5/5. You know, it is a very good card, especially with Llanowar Elves. Does nothing, hey. I mean, if you have a counter, you have a counter, but red, who cares? Neat. You know, as long as we have that extra mana in our Llanowar Elf, we're going to keep pushing. Glimmer of Genius. Scry 2, then draw 2. So is this just... Is it control? Is it? I don't know, Brian. Is it? Glorybringer. I mean, we're not dealing... Oh, no, they scoop. Okay. Interesting day playing the stock deck here. Let's go back and do a recap here. Okay, so... Pioneer. Pioneer seems to be full of kind of combo-y... I mean, then again, I played 5 games, guys. You saw literally every game of Pioneer I played in 2022 on screen right now. And this deck is doing quite well. I mean, it straight up lost to that Light Paws SRAM deck. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Just came in, got spanked, and we were done. Then again, like, if we had drawn land at any point, but, you know, ifs and buts and so on and so forth, this is clearly a deck that's begging to be upgraded. There are so many things in this deck that it just wants to be better. So, for example, as much as I love Glorybringer, I think 4 is a bit much because you end up drawing so many. Funny, I know. The Chandra seem okay. Questing Beast seems kind of mid. In fact, like, and this is not unsurprising because the actual versions of this deck, like, don't run these weird, you know, 4 and 5 drops. They run more efficient threats. Mizzium Mortars, it's funny. I don't know if it's particularly good. Bonecrusher Giant's great. Lovestruck Beast is great. Scavenging Ooze is good. These guys are good. The land base is good with the exception of these weird Rockfall Veils. The land base does kind of make me scratch my head because, like, just eating 3 of these Rockfall Veils and turning them into Stomping Grounds, and then eating the final Rockfall Veil, and then, like, a couple of the forests and turning them into the pathways probably makes your mana base a lot better. I know for a fact that Pioneer is the land of no blood moon. You can be as greedy as you want with your mana base, because with the exception of, what's that thing called? Mystic Gate or something like that? The one from Eldraine that... Mystic Pathway, whatever it is, the fetch land that only works if you have 4 or more lands. Other than that, it's just an Evolving Wilds. So there's not a lot of that going on, but I was really entertained by my time in Pioneer, and I wouldn't be surprised if I come back to it soon, maybe upgrading this deck with some sort of budget in mind. Because again, like, if you buy one of these decks, it's because you're trying to get into Pioneer. So, hey, if that's a thing, you know, give it a shot. I really like the big red deck here, you know. But I suppose the other ones can be good as well. I know the Professor, which, you know, biggest YouTuber on Magic the Gathering stuff, he talked about how pretty much all of these decks are good value with the exception of, say, the Phoenix deck, because it only comes with 2 Phoenix, which is a really weird thing. But hey, it is what it is. Thank you guys very much for coming along in the journey. Let's go to the Black Void real quick. And hello, welcome to the Black Void. If you have a list you want me to take a look at, go ahead and email me at heydummyplaythis@gmail.com. That's heydummyplaythis@gmail.com. So when we come into the Black Void, I normally show off something really cool from Magic's history. However, I have been out of town on a work trip, and when I was out of town on a work trip, I bought some toys. You know, I happened to be in a town I'm not normally in, and they just had a lot better selection than the shops around me. That's not to say I don't love the shops around me, but I was able to buy some cool things for myself. And I realized that these are nothing special at all. Good old seasoned pyromancer. He's the card, you know exactly what he is and what he does, but these are the first time that I am going to have them in paper, which is super nice. So yeah, guys, thank you for coming along for the journey. Maybe I'll play more Pioneer. I know I'm long overdue for a Pauper match as well. Maybe I'll do Pauper soon. But leave down in the comments what you want to see me play. Email me a deck if you want me to try that. And thank you very much for joining me on this little foray into Pauper. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will catch you later. Bye.